to let you know, if there is a time as now, now is the time to know without a shadow of a doubt that the coming of the Lord is right here before us right now. Amen. Many reasons why people are facing, especially the believers, because many believers are being hard-pressed, feeling totally hard-pressed without a way out. Amen. And they're looking for an answer from God to why am I facing, why am I going through the things that I'm going through. I'm here to let you know, men and women of God, the closer that we get to the return of Christ, the worse things are going to become. It's not going to get better, but it will get worse. Would you lean over to your neighbor and say, neighbor, it is not going to get better, but it is going to get worse. And what I mean by that is the time that we're living in is going to get worse. Amen. Just learned just earlier this morning watching the news and heard on the news that 23 states now within the United States has now become infected with swine flu. Are you all with me? That's almost half of our nation. Amen. They have over a total of 200 people now who have become infected by the swine flu. And people are trying, they're scrambling. The medical field, they're scrambling and they're trying to hurry up and get a vaccine that they can get out on the market, hopefully within the next 4 months, with the hope of being able to stop this swine flu, because this is a different kind of strain and they don't have any kind of cure for this disease. Are you all with me? Would you lean over to somebody and say they don't have a cure, nor do they have a clue? Because I learned listening to the news on this morning, they don't really even know if the vaccinations will really work. Are you all in this place with me? Amen. If there's a time that we need God, we need Him what? Right now. But let me tell you something, my friends. All of these things are just the signs of the time. Amen. That's why you don't have to get bent out of shape. You don't have to worry. You don't have to pull your hair out. Come on, somebody. You don't have to let your nerves become shot because of the things that are going on in just not our country but around the world. Because what is affecting in our country is also being affected around the world. We live now in a global society. Will somebody say a global society? It was back in the late 80s, around 1989, 1990, at the beginning of the kickoff of the first Gulf War, that we heard the term New World Order. Are you all with me in this place? I believe that it was George Herbert Bush, Bush #1, who penned that phrase of a new world order, meaning that the world was becoming a global society. And with it becoming a global society, our lives become interlinked one way or another. Amen. Let me tell you something today. Swine flu isn't just here in America or here in Mexico or in Canada, but it is now affecting over in Europe and all the way down into South America. Why is that? Because everything is interlocked within the world. Would you repeat after me and say, oh, one world system. Watch this. Jesus begins to talk to us today. Glory be to God. I wonder if I got a witness in this place. Are y'all going to pray for this preacher today? Watch this. Jesus begins to talk to us today, and he gives us these words found in the book of St. Matthew. Go with me into the 24th chapter of the book of Matthew, and we're going to pick up at verse number 4. Jesus began to deal with the tribulation. Now watch this. There are two teachings now within Christianity as it relates to the return of Christ. You have some who are teaching that we are right now somewhere in or getting ready to enter into the tribulation. Then you have others who are traditionally teaching that the time of tribulation is for a future time and event somewhere within the near future. Are you all with me in this place? Amen. With the things that are going on in our world, with the things that are happening in society. Amen. If you really want to know what's going on, what God is up to, if you would get into the Spirit, he will minister to you. Are you all with me? Watch this over here in the 24th chapter of the book of Matthew. And Jesus answered and said to them, take heed that no one deceives you. Would you lean over to somebody and say, don't allow nobody to trick you out of where you are in God. Listen to what he says. He says, for many will come in my name, saying, I am what? The Christ. And will do what? We've already seen these things taking place here on earth. I believe the latest one was Krishna. How many of y'all remember Krishna? Down there, I believe David Krishna, down there in Texas, who had beguiled other people to sit under his teaching and to believe in him as the Christ. Are you all with me? Many years ago, even here in our area of the Benton Harbor, St. Joseph area, we had an occult here by the name of the House of David. And David, within his teaching, he was teaching the people that he was going to return again as their Messiah. Are you all in this place with me? We are constantly, every day, being bombarded with the spirit of the Antichrist. Will somebody say, the spirit of the Antichrist? Now watch this, watch this. He says, and you will hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that you are not what? In other words, the Lord is saying you're going to hear of wars going on. And then you also are going to hear of skirmishes about to break out. And we're seeing that right now. Come on, somebody. I was sharing with the people on Thursday evening that when you watch history, all of your greatest empires that collapsed, many of them collapsed due to war and bankruptcy. I don't hear nobody in this place. Amen. The things that brought down many of these great empires is because they were putting a lot of effort into trying to fund their wars. And in funding their wars, many of those great empires stretched themselves too thin. I wish I had some help in this place. If you look at what's going on with our government under the last administration, we have been fighting on two fronts. Every great empire that has fought on more than one front has always gone into collapse. Amen. If you would follow me just for a moment, it was the German Third Reich under the leadership of Adolf Hitler
who had